Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Right, I'm just tapping in a little, kind of like a quote, but not a quote, just a sentence. Where is it? Where is it? So if you are here this morning, let me know how you're doing. If you're watching it on replay, do hashtag replay. Let me know how you are this morning. If you're used to watching me, we have to do the out of 10s. How many feeling out of 10 this morning? I think I woke up like a 6 out of 10 this morning. I felt when I woke up, and it's a bit grey, very freaking windy. Poor little Doreen only got blown away this morning, and yeah, the weather's not great. But hey, I'm going on holiday on Sunday, so I don't care. Where it's like 30 degrees, it's probably a bit too hot, but hey ho, you can't have everything. Good morning, Sandra. How are you? 7 out of 10. We'd like a 7. Try and get to the 8. The 8 is the sweet spot. So it is officially Friday, the 21st of August. It is. And it is officially Fuck It Friday. So Fuck It Friday is basically something that one of my one-to-one clients used to talk about this thing that she did, which was basically on a Friday, she'd hit the fuck it button, which basically meant that didn't get up too much on a Friday, sacked everything off, work, things that she needed to deal with, pushing hard, because basically it was Friday and it was just like, nah, fuck it, it's Friday, we're not going to bother, we're going to come back on Monday and start all again. So basically that means you end up having a 4-day week, right? Because you can't be bothered on Friday, and then you got the weekend. And it's like, you can't do that. That's like erasing one day of your life every week. It's like, you just can't do that. If you did that, I think I worked it out, like if she did that every week, I think it would, like, she'd lose like over a month of over a month of work time, business time, hustle time to get stuff, be productive, and plus other stuff in your life. You're just going to try and obliterate the rest of the working week by going off on a Friday, having a few jars and just obliterating what's gone before. That's no way to lead your life, in my opinion. Let me know if you think differently. Let me know if you're jumping on, how you're feeling this morning. How many out of 10 are you? So anyway, it is Fuck It Friday. So are you going to just hit the fuck it button and say, fuck it, it's Friday, I am not bothering, I'm going to basically do the bare minimum, I'm sacking it off, I'm going home early, I'm not going to be as productive. I like a Friday. I think, yeah, let's like, it's the last push of the week. What can we get done? What can I do that I need to mop up that I haven't got done earlier in the week? It's a really great opportunity. One vice I have on a Friday is I do get to like tea time on a Friday, and the diet slips, and I think, Prosecco o'clock or something like that. That's what I struggle with on a Friday, but not till the end of the day. That's what happens for me. But I'm going on holiday on Sunday, so I'm like super determined to get to be as trim as I can, so that I don't feel too self-conscious going on the beach. Because basically 30 degrees, you don't want to wear a lot of clothes in 30 degrees, your eyeballs sweat. So anyway, if you're here this morning, please say hello. Only Sandra said hello. Feeling very lonely this morning. I'm not, but you're not talking to me, and I love it when you talk to me. So I wanted to talk to you about being miserable in advance, and it's something I've been reading. I'm reading the Emotional Agility book at the moment, and I read the Daily Stoic. And they're kind of like running in parallel, the two that I read this morning. And in the Daily Stoic, they're talking about don't be miserable in advance, which is like I was talking. So it kind of carries on what I was talking about yesterday. Is that like we ruminate on stuff, don't we? We worry and we go over and over and over. And women are more prone to ruminate and go over and over and over things. That's just proven. That's not that's not me just saying that, by the way. And we just go over and over and over it. And I caught myself doing it the other day, and I was just like, I had to have a word with myself. I had to change my thoughts, figure out what the trigger was and realize what I was doing, which was great. I did. I brought myself back into check. And basically, and then carrying on from that, and I read in this book this morning, was about you're basically making yourself miserable in advance. And I'd never thought of it like that, all this ruminating that we can do and we can get caught up in. But it makes perfect sense when I read it. And it says, by definition, the waiting means it has happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. So that feeling bad in advance is totally voluntary, which it is, isn't it? It's like ruminating over stuff that might happen, that could happen. What if this happens? You're making yourself feel bad in advance for something that might not happen and might not feel that bad when you get there. Does that make sense? Am I being crazy? No, I think this shit makes sense, right? Because something bad might never occur. It might never occur, and we're ruminating, we're worrying about stuff that might happen, and you're making yourself miserable in advance. It makes so much sense. So we worry about all of the different outcomes. If we've got something going on in our life, personal, business, whatever, we worry about all the different outcomes. When I got ripped off for 100 grand, I had so much stuff going on in my head, so much worry going over and over in my mind. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if I couldn't pay my debts? What if I couldn't, get the money back? Blah, 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 blah. And I had all extra worry in advance. And, but the one thing that I used to say, and mantras are really good. And I know a lot of people think they're a load of bollocks, but they actually do. Your thoughts become your actions, basically, and how you feel. And I used to always say to myself, I can handle this. I've handled 100% of every bit of shit I've gone through before. I can handle it. That was my mantra at the time, and I would say over and over and over again. And I got through it, and I'm still here, and I'm still surviving. So, I just want to share that. Think about the best case scenario, right? If the news turns out to be better than expected, all this time was wasted with needless fear. This is what it's saying in the Daily Stoic, and it makes sense, right? Worst case scenario, we were miserable for extra time by choice. Get it? So if you're worrying in advance of what might happen, you're making yourself miserable for now. And okay, it might happen, but you could have just been miserable or unhappy when it happens rather than when it happens and now as well. Does that make sense? It kind of like penny dropped for me. I was just like, yes, you're just being miserable in advance of something that might not happen. But if it does, be fucked off about it when it happens, but not now as well. Don't ruminate on it now as well. And, I think that's just really something great to carry forward. I really, really do. So think about that when you're ruminating. So don't be miserable in advance is my advice for Fuck It Friday. Sandra has got loads of things to do today. Hubby's left her a nice long list. Happy Friday. Morning, Jenny. I'm going to be there for my hubby as his Nan's funeral. Oh, sending you lots of love, darling. That's a toughie, isn't it? I know. My dad dying the other week, month today actually, and it's tough. However, Friday's the day I do normally try and tie up loose ends. This happened yesterday. You see, so you did it in advance. That's planning. Planning tomorrow, today. That's what I say. Plan tomorrow, today. Puts you in control. Keeps you grounded. So that's really, really good. So well done, Jenny. I used to worry about things in the future. I try and learn to let it go, as it's unhelpful to consume self with things that haven't happened. Exactly. Deal with the emotions that you've got now. Deal with how you're feeling. That's okay. If you feel a bit shit, if something's happened, then you have to feel that. You have to go through it. It's like when my marriage broke down. I've had 2 marriages break down. Lucky me, there won't be a third, I can promise you that. But everyone kept telling me, you gotta go through it. You can't go around it. You can't hide from it. You have to go through it. And as you don't fucking want to hear that. I don't want to go through this pain. But you have to. And it's like the pain I experienced of losing my dad. And you have to go through that. But there are other things that you can step away from. And that is worrying and thinking about and ruminating on what might happen in the future, because you are basically giving yourself emotions now that you don't need to have right now, negative emotions, and you're putting yourself in a miserable place right now when it might not ever happen. So it's a waste of time. You're giving yourself extra miserable time. Who wants extra miserable time? No, put your hand down. I don't, you don't. Am I making sense? I love this shit. I love this stoic stuff. Good morning, Tina. Good morning. 7 out of 10 today. I love a 7. Let's get to an 8. Extremely windy here. Yeah, here too. It's like 40-mile-an-hour winds. I'm really having to hold on tight to Dory today because she is like 3 kilos. I weighed her. She's 3 kilos, which is good because she was like 2 for so long. A little pest. She doesn't like the wind. Anyway, last night worrying about the damage it might do. Hey, the wind kept you awake because you were worrying about the damage it might do. That's worrying in advance. It's just what I've been talking about. So we need to keep an eye on the old worry in advance. If it happens, it happens. Worry about it when it happens. Be miserable when it happens. But don't be miserable. Now you've lost sleep and you've been unhappy during that lack of sleep. And now that lack of sleep will probably make today more challenging than it needs to be. This is all good shit that we can work on, I think. Sandra, sending this to my daughter. She's terrible for worrying and what if. Yeah, it's the what ifs, isn't it? The what if brigade. We all do it. You know, like I say, if you saw my live I did on the beach the other day before yesterday, I think I was talking about ruminating. And that's just about worrying about what if. And it's just making you miserable in advance. Good morning, Sophie. How are you? Are you having a lovely, relaxed morning with your wife, taking her out for lunch later? I feel like an 8 this morning. Happy Friday. We love an 8. Oh, brilliant. Lunch out. I am not having lunch out today, sadly. But enjoy your lunch out. You, Sophie, you always end up talking about food. Oh dear, where are you going? What are you having? Something nice, I hope. I did have a lunch out earlier in the week. What did I have? It was that good, I can't remember. It was curry, I remember. Curry is my favourite dish, or one of my favourite dishes. Curry, peshwari naan, have a Prosecco, have some ice cream, coffee at the end. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm a happy bunny. Jules, a day off. I know, she's just told me you're going out to lunch, you lucky buggers. Tina, that makes so much sense. What a waste of time and energy being miserable in advance. Never thought of it like that. Exactly. We are going to work on not being miserable in advance, right? Don't be miserable in advance. When you catch yourself ruminating, worrying, going, what if, what that? Oh my God, this might happen, that might happen. You're giving yourself double miserable. Because if it does happen, you'll be miserable. But you've also been worrying about it, ruminating on it, and miserable now. So you've got double miserable. Let's just have one miserable if we're going to have miserable. I mean, let's try not to have miserable at all. It would be really, really good, wouldn't it? Lisa, good morning, Lisa. What's the book you were referring to, Sam? I read The Daily Stoic, which is, some of it is a bit, I mean, it might not be for you, but for me it's a bit, but some of it is, oh, hang on, pretty awesome. Maybe I should do a book giveaway and give away some of this. See, I'm one of those people that when I see stuff that I like in my books, I scribble all in it and I highlight it. And I turn down the corners of the pages and things. So that's what I read. And there's one for every day. So there's a date at the top and it just gives you an ancient Stoics sort of wisdom, I guess is the word. Plus I'm also reading this at the moment, Emotional Agility, Get Unstuck, Embrace Change and Thrive in Work and Life. And this morning, I'll just give you a little bit from this morning. Pretending to be happier than we are is a losing proposition, and pushing ourselves to be more genuinely happy is definitely self-defeating, partly because it raises impossible expectations, and partly because our own false smiles and eagerness to grab all the gusto deprives us of all the benefits of negative emotions. This book is really good and teaching me loads. And in recent years, I used to be like, let's just be happy all the time. Let's be positive. Let's be optimistic. Let's just be happy all the time. Well, no, because we feel shit sometimes, don't we? And shit happens. And you can't just brush it aside, because that's just bottling it up like a pressure cooker. And eventually it will all come to the surface. Like, I've cried more in the last couple of years and probably the whole 50 years before that. So we have to deal with the negative stuff as well, but I'm all for being happy. I'll work on my happiness every day. You know, my happiness level, or my mojo level, whatever you want to call it, might only get to a 6, but if I woke up at a 2, I've tried to improve it and make the best that it can be, and that's what I'm all about. But some people are generally more optimistic than others. I'm optimistic. I'm always hopeful. I always know everything is temporary, and I remind myself of those things when I'm having a bit of a shit time. So yeah, hope that makes sense. I hope you got those books, Lisa. I'll write them in the comments as well. Sophie's off to ZZ's. Yeah, there's a ZZ's everywhere, aren't there? They got one everywhere. It's a big franchise. Okay, you got the books. Awesome. Yeah, books are ace, aren't they? For someone that went to school, school was hard work for me. Didn't leave with too much in the way of qualifications. Probably left with lung cancer because I smoked and drank and was a little shit. But I smoked from age 11. I was not good in school. School was not a good time for me. And very self-conscious, like most teenagers. But anyway, I left with very little education. Didn't like to read, didn't like to write. I wasn't interested in reading about Shakespeare, Thomas Hardy, and World War II and all of that shizzle. I wasn't interested in. I definitely wasn't interested in writing about it. But in my adult life, certainly as I've got to like the last 20 odd years, I just read personal development stuff all the time, and I love it because it's like my education. And it's helping me now, coaching and supporting people, which I freaking love. So anyway, do not be miserable in advance. I'm just going to put this up there. I'm running a mastermind, and it's coming on the 7th of September. 10 places. If you're in business or getting a business going, you want help, support, encouragement, brainstorming, two Zoom sessions a week, that it's for you. Go check it out. And some of the bonuses I've got are worth the price of the ticket alone. Plus, we have Shah Wasman, MBE, doing a session. Hetty Verney going to do a session about making profit from your business straight away, which will save you the ticket price alone, and stuff that you can carry forward into your business. So that is coming up starting on the 7th of September. And just go to that website. You can find out about it. But anyway, the thought of the day, don't be miserable in advance. Have a great Friday. Remember, it starts with you. Bye.